waters came, and everything was gone. But mercy remained. One ark, one of the most mysterious, touching, and the most debated parts of the Bible. What happened just before the flood? Especially the passage about strange unions and mighty offspring. Think of a normal day. You're in your normal routine. Then instantly you see a huge shadow behind you. You hurry and turn back. It's when your eyes can't believe what's standing before you. A terrifying creature, very tall like a tower standing before you. The legs are huge and very rough. The footsteps leave holes deep enough to fit a small car. The breath causes trees to shake and dust to rise up. The palm of their hands can easily carry 3 people. When you look up in the eyes of the creature, you see evil. You see a hunter, and you're the prey hunted. This is the true story that caused God to wipe the entire world with floods. But Noah found favor before God. This happened around the year 2348 BC, according to the biblical timeline. Let's walk through it clearly, but also with the depth it deserves. There was a man who lived in a world growing darker by the day, a world drifting further away from God. Yet he chose a different path, a path so rare, so extraordinary, that he never tasted death. His name was Enoch. Why him? You will find out in this story. He was not just a man, but a man used by God. A man who visited heaven. A man who saw the secrets that no man ever seen. A man who never experienced death. He was taken to heaven alive. To understand Enoch, we must go back to the beginning. Back to the first man, Adam. From Adam came a line, a generation of humanity spreading across the earth. Adam had a son named Seth. Seth was born after tragedy, after the loss of Abel. And through Seth, a godly line continued. From Seth came Enosh, then Kenan, then Mahalalel, then Jared, and from Jared came Enoch. Enoch was not born into a perfect world. Sin had already taken root, violence was increasing, humanity was expanding, but so was corruption. And yet, in the middle of this growing darkness, Enoch was born. The Bible does not tell us much about Enoch's early years, but one thing is clear. He lived like any other man at first. He grew, he worked, he experienced life, until something changed. Enoch became a father. His son's name was Methuselah, and from that moment, everything shifted. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch began to walk with God, not just believing in God, not just knowing about Him, but walking with Him, daily, consistently, closely. Imagine that, a life so aligned with God, that every step, every decision, every moment was in harmony with Him. While others followed their desires, Enoch followed God. While others ignored truth, Enoch listened. While the world grew louder, Enoch grew deeper. He didn't stand out because he was powerful. He stood out because he was faithful. And then, Enoch hears it. A call, not from the world, but from beyond it. Come. Enoch is taken, not in a dream, not in imagination, but in reality beyond what words can hold. He moves through the heavens, through layers of existence, seeing things no human has seen. He sees how the universe is ordered, the movement of stars, the chambers of the winds, the storehouses of snow and rain. Everything is structured, nothing is random. There is a design, a system, a divine order that humanity has forgotten. Then Enoch is shown something else. The Watchers, bound, waiting. These beings who once walked freely are now imprisoned because their actions changed the course of creation. There's an interesting story ahead which led to their imprisonment that you don't have to miss. Enoch is approaching them, the heavenly beings. Very terrifying, but he has to. Not because he is not afraid, but because the presence of God gave him courage. They see Enoch, and they speak, not with authority, but with desperation.
Speak for us, ask for mercy, intercede on our behalf.
And Enoch agrees. He listens, he carries their request. not because they deserve it, but because he understands what it means to stand between worlds. Enoch is taken beyond the earth, into the presence of God, where truth is not hidden and nothing is misunderstood. And God speaks, not with uncertainty, but with finality. Tell the watchers, there will be no peace for them, no forgiveness. They abandoned their place. They corrupted the earth. Then comes the judgment on their children, the giants. God declares they will not continue. They will not rule. They will not survive. Instead, they will destroy each other. They will fight. They will tear each other apart. Their strength will become their downfall. Before the flood ever comes, the earth will witness something terrifying. Not peace, but collapse. The giants consuming themselves until nothing remains. And then God reveals the final act. I will send the waters, a flood upon the earth, to cleanse it, to remove all corruption, to put an end to this evil. But not everything will be destroyed. One man will be spared, a man who walks differently, a man chosen to begin again, Noah. Through him, life will continue. Through him, the earth will be renewed. Carrying the weight of heaven's decision, he speaks, you will not find peace. You will not return to heaven. You will watch your children fall, and you will face judgment. The watchers understand there is no escape, no reversal, only the consequence. Enoch returns, but he is not the same, because once you see beyond the world, you cannot unsee it. He walks again among people, but now he sees clearly the corruption, the direction, the outcome. He knows what is coming. Judgment is not a question, it is a certainty. And yet, Enoch does not panic. He does not run. He walks still with God. According to the book of Genesis 5:23-24, Enoch lived 365 years. Then it says, Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more, because God took him. What makes this unique? Most people in his genealogy lived 700 to 900 plus years, but Enoch's life was shorter yet more significant, because he did not die like others, but he was taken directly by God. Enoch didn't live the longest, but he lived the closest to God, and that made all the difference. And now, that interesting part of the story you've been waiting to hear. In the Book of Enoch, the sons of God are clearly identified as angels called watchers. These were not ordinary angels. They were assigned to watch over humanity, to guide and observe. But something changed. There is a mountain, ancient, silent, watching, a place where heaven and earth once collided. A place remembered not just in history, but in mystery. This is Mount Hermon, Har Hermon, in Hebrew root, meaning set apart, devoted, or under oath, a place of both blessing and deep spiritual significance. And according to ancient writings, this is where the watchers fell. Today, Mount Hermon still stands, rising high above the land. At the border of 3 nations, Lebanon, Syria, Israel, snow still rests on its peak. Winds still move across its heights, but beneath its beauty lies a story few truly understand. Why this mountain? Why would such a place be chosen? Why here? Why Mount Hermon? Because in ancient times, mountains were not just land. They were gateways, places where humanity believed heaven could be touched, places where the divine met the natural, and Hermon stood above them all. According to the Book of Enoch, there came a moment, a decision, a rebellion. 200 watchers, angels assigned to observe humanity, chose to descend, not by command, but by choice. They did not come alone. They came together, bound by a pact. Led by a leader named Semjaza, they stood on Mount Hermon and made an oath that none would turn back, an oath to cross a line that was never meant to be crossed. And it is said that this mountain was named Hermon. because of that oath. A place of binding, a place of decision, a place of no return. Today, Mount Hermon looks peaceful. Snow falls gently, tourists visit, life goes on. But history remembers. Because some places carry more than beauty, they carry memory. There is no physical evidence, no visible mark, no trace you can touch. But the story remains, passed down through generations, written in ancient texts, whispered through time. Mount Hermon is more than a location. It is a symbol, a reminder of what happens when boundaries are broken, when the divine is misused, when power is taken instead of given. Mount Hermon still stands, silent, unmoved, a witness to what once was, and a reminder that every decision carries consequences, because not every story is just history. Some are warnings. Once on earth, these watchers took human women as wives, lived among them, had children with them. These children became the Nephilim. But in Enoch, they are described in much more extreme terms. They were massive in size, giants, physically powerful, spiritually corrupted. At first, they ruled as mighty beings. But soon, everything changed. The Nephilim didn't just exist, they consumed everything. According to Enoch, they ate all human food, then livestock, then wild animals, and when nothing was left, they turned against humanity. They began to kill people, drink blood, spread violence everywhere. The earth became filled not just with sin, but with terror. It was then the forbidden knowledge was released. This is one of the most important parts of Enoch's version. The Watchers didn't just corrupt through relationships, they taught humans forbidden knowledge. For example, Azazel taught warfare, the use of weapons, swords, shields, and how to kill more effectively. Other Watchers taught sorcery and magic, astrology and hidden secrets, makeup and seduction techniques, and also enchantments and manipulation. It's true that humanity advanced in knowledge but became morally destroyed. Knowledge without righteousness led to chaos. Then the earth cried out. The Book of Enoch says something powerful. The earth itself cried out. The violence, bloodshed, and corruption became so overwhelming that creation could no longer bear it. And heaven responded. God's judgment was declared. The judgment was executed through archangels like Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. And each one of them was assigned a task. Raphael was assigned to bind Azazel and cast him into darkness. Gabriel was assigned to destroy the giants, Nephilim. Michael was assigned to bind the Watchers for judgment. The sentence was severe. The Watchers would be imprisoned until the final judgment. The giants would destroy each other in violence. After all this, God declared, the earth must be cleansed. The flood was not just about human sin. In Enoch's view, it was about removing corruption, ending the influence of the Watchers, destroying the Nephilim. It was a reset of creation itself. Noah's role in Enoch. Noah is still chosen, but Enoch adds something interesting. Noah is portrayed as pure, set apart and preserved from corruption. In some traditions tied to Enoch, even Noah's birth is described as unusual, suggesting he was marked for a divine purpose from the beginning. What happened after the giants died? Here's one of the most fascinating and eerie parts. According to Enoch, when the giants died, their spirits did not disappear. Instead, their bodies perished, but their spirits remained on earth. These spirits became what Enoch describes as evil spirits, demons. They roam the earth, influence humans, and continue causing corruption. The Book of Enoch paints a picture of a world that was spiritually invaded, morally corrupted, and physically overwhelmed. The flood wasn't just punishment. It was containment, a divine intervention to stop total destruction of humanity. Important note: the Book of Enoch is not part of most modern Bibles. It's considered apocryphal by many traditions and still highly influential in early Jewish and Christian thought. It expands the story but isn't always treated as official doctrine. According to the book of Genesis 6:1-4, it says, "Sons of God saw that human women were beautiful, They took them as wives, and their children became mighty men of old, men of renown. These offspring are often called the Nephilim. Who were the sons of God? There are three main interpretations, and each has been debated for centuries. The first interpretation is the fallen angels' supernatural view. This is the most dramatic and widely known interpretation. It says, sons of God were fallen angels. They left their proper place, took human women, produced hybrid offspring. The Nephilim. This view is supported by Book of Job, where sons of God clearly refers to angels. Epistle of Jude mentions angels who left their proper domain. Second Epistle of Peter talks about angels being judged. In this interpretation, the world before the flood wasn't just sinful. It was corrupted at a deeper level spiritually and even physically. Second interpretation is the line of Seth, human view. In this interpretation, it says, sons of God were righteous descendants of Seth, Adam's son. Daughters of men were from the corrupt line of Cain. So the issue wasn't angels. It was godly people mixing with ungodly people, leading to moral collapse. In this view, the flood came because humanity became completely wicked, not because of supernatural beings. And the last interpretation is about the ancient kings or rulers. Some scholars believe sons of God were powerful rulers or kings. They took women by force. Their children became famous warriors, men of renown. This interpretation focuses on corruption of power, oppression, and human pride. Who were the Nephilim? The word Nephilim is often translated as giants, fallen ones, mighty warriors. They are described as strong, famous, fearsome. They appear again later in Book of Numbers, where spies describe giants in the land. Why this matters for the flood? Right after this mysterious passage, the Bible says, humanity became extremely wicked. Every thought was evil continually. So whether you take the angelic view or human view, the message is clear. The world had reached a point of total corruption. Boundaries set by God were being broken. Order was turning into chaos, and this is what led to the flood. A deeper spiritual meaning. Even beyond the mystery, the message is powerful. When boundaries are ignored, destruction follows. When humanity rejects God completely, chaos grows. When power, desire, and pride take over, society collapses. The story is not just about strange beings. It's about how far humanity can fall when it disconnects from God. So, did angels really marry humans? Before the rain began, before the skies broke open, before the earth trembled under rising waters, there was silence. Not the peaceful silence of rest, but the heavy silence of a world that had forgotten its creator. The hidden reason. There was a time when humanity walked closely with God, but slowly, quietly, something changed. Hearts grew cold. Truth became twisted. Kindness faded into cruelty. What once was light became shadow. The earth was no longer filled with love. It was filled with violence, corruption, and endless evil. Every thought, every intention, drifted further away from what was good. And this was the hidden reason. Not just sin, but a world that no longer cared. A world that chose darkness again and again. Not just actions, but the hearts behind them. And what he saw broke his heart. Imagine creating something beautiful, only to watch it destroy itself. This wasn't anger alone. It was grief. Deep, overwhelming sorrow. God wasn't eager to destroy the earth. He was mourning what it had become. But even in the darkest times, there is always a light. One man, one life that stood different. His name was Noah. While the world ran toward corruption, Noah walked in righteousness, while others ignored God. Noah listened. While others lived carelessly, Noah lived with purpose. He wasn't perfect, but his heart was aligned with God. God spoke to Noah, not in thunder, but in clarity. A flood was coming, not just rain, but a cleansing of the earth. Everything would be washed away, and Noah was chosen, not just to survive, but to preserve life itself. God gave Noah instructions, precise, detailed, unimaginable. Build an ark, a massive vessel. Biblical dimensions of Noah's ark are given clearly in the book of Genesis 6:15. Here is the original measurement. Length equals 300 cubits. Width equals 50 cubits. Height equals 30 cubits. What is a cubit? A cubit is an ancient unit based on the length from the elbow to the tip of the fingers. 1 cubit, approximately 18 inches, about 45 centimeters, converted into modern measurements. Using that estimate, the ark would be approximately length, approximately 135 meters, approximately 443 feet. Width, approximately 22.5 meters, approximately 74 feet. Height, approximately 13.5 meters, approximately 44 feet. The ark wasn't shaped like a modern ship. It was more like a huge rectangular vessel, designed for stability, not speed. According to the book of Genesis, it had 3 levels, or you call them decks, a roof, and a single door on the side. Interesting detail is that the ratio of the ark, 300 to 50 to 30, is about 6 to 1 length to width, which is very close to modern cargo ships, making it extremely stable in water. The ark wasn't just a boat, it was a place of preservation, a symbol of divine instruction, and a powerful reminder that obedience can carry you through impossible storms. And so, Noah began. He picked up his tools, rough wood in his hands, dust in the air. Every strike of the hammer echoed a question. Will you trust, even when you don't understand? Day after day, Noah worked. He cut the trees, he shaped the wood, he carried beams heavier than his strength. His hands, once steady, now bruised. Splinters pierced his fingers, blisters formed, then broke. Still, he didn't stop. There were moments when the pain spoke louder than faith, when exhaustion whispered, "Stop," when doubt crept in, "Is this worth it?" But Noah kept going, because obedience is not proven in comfort, it is proven in persistence. And he was not alone. His sons stood with him, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, different in strength, different in personality, but united on purpose. Together they lifted, together they built, together they endured the heat, the dust, the endless work. Shem measured carefully, Japheth lifted with strength, and Ham, well, Ham made sure no one messed with the ark. While they worked, the world watched. Let it be known, Ham unofficially became the security of the ark, watching people who came too close, making sure no one tried to misuse it, or turn it into a gathering place for evil or for dumping. You can almost imagine him saying, "Not today. This boat is not for jokes." That's just in case it's not written anywhere. Years passed, not days, not weeks, years. The ark grew, board by board, nail by nail, faith, layer by layer. Noah didn't build this because it was easy. He built it because God said so. Even when there was no rain, even when there was no sign, even when everything around him said, "This makes no sense." And then, it was finished. A massive structure, standing in the middle of dry land. A testimony, not of human skill, but of unwavering faith. So now the question is, what are you building? Something that pleases the crowd, or something that obeys God? Because one day, the rain will come. In a place where rain had never even fallen like this, day after day, year after year, Noah built. And people laughed. They mocked him. They called him foolish. "Why build a boat on dry land?" they said. But Noah didn't stop. Because faith does not depend on understanding. Faith obeys, even when it looks strange. Then something incredible happened. Animals began to come, 2 by 2, from every corner of the earth, guided by something unseen, something divine. The ark was filling. not just with creatures, but with hope. Then came the moment, the final moment. Noah and his family entered the ark, and the door was shut, not by Noah, but by God himself. A line had been drawn, grace had been offered, but now, time was up. At first, it was just drops, then more, until the sky broke open. Rain fell like never before. The ground burst with water from beneath. The world was drowning. People ran, they cried out, they searched for higher ground. But it was too late. The waters rose higher and higher, until even the tallest mountains disappeared beneath the waves. Everything that had breath was gone, except those inside the ark. Safe, protected, covered. Inside the ark, there was peace. Not because the storm wasn't real, but because they were secure. This is what divine protection looks like. Not the absence of chaos, but safety in the middle of it. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Nothing but water, everywhere. But Noah waited, patiently, faithfully, trusting that God had not forgotten him. Then, one day, Noah released a dove. The first time, it returned. The second time, it came back with an olive leaf, a sign. Life was returning. Hope was rising again. Eventually, the waters receded. The earth appeared again, fresh, renewed, clean, a new beginning. Noah stepped out of the ark into a world reborn, and God made a promise. Never again would he destroy the earth with a flood. And as a sign, he placed a rainbow in the sky, a reminder of mercy, of grace, of a second chance. This story is not just about the past. It speaks to us today. The world we live in sometimes looks a lot like the world before the flood. Distraction, corruption, indifference. But the lesson remains. You don't have to follow the crowd. You can be like Noah, faithful, even when others doubt, obedient, even when it doesn't make sense, patient, even when nothing seems to be changing. Because here's the truth, God always makes a way for those who walk with him. The flood was not just destruction, it was a reset, a reminder that even in judgment, there is mercy, and even in endings, there is a new beginning. If this message touched your heart, take a moment, reflect, and ask yourself, are you building your ark or ignoring the warning? Even when it doesn't make sense. Patient, even when nothing seems to be changing. Because here's the truth, God always makes a way for those who walk with him. The flood was not just destruction, it was a reset, a reminder that even in judgment, there is mercy, and even in endings, there is a new beginning. The storm didn't come immediately. There was time to change, time to prepare, time to choose, and that time is a gift. Now I want to hear from you. Which part of this story touched you the most? Was it Noah's faith, the warning before the flood, or the moment God made a new beginning? Write it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if this message spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes, one message can change everything.